Have you ever wondered why so many Black Americans are packing up and leaving certain states? What's pushing them away? Rising housing costs, lack of opportunity, gentrification, or maybe even climate disasters. These are places where Black communities have thrived for generations, yet now thousands are choosing to move. But where are they going? And more importantly, why? In today's video, we're diving deep into the 10 U.S. states Black people are leaving and uncovering the real reasons behind this migration. And I want to hear from you. Have you noticed people leaving your state? Have you ever thought about moving? Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss videos like this. First up, we're heading to the Midwest, to the state of Illinois. Illinois, particularly Chicago, has historically been a major hub for Black Americans, but over the last 2 decades, the state has been losing Black residents at a rapid pace. Black people make up about 15% of the state's population, but thousands have left due to crime, economic struggles, and high taxes. One of the biggest factors driving Black residents away is the economy. Illinois has one of the highest unemployment rates for Black workers in the country, and wages have not kept up with the rising cost of living. Additionally, Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the nation, making homeownership difficult, especially for first-time buyers. Crime is another major issue, especially in Chicago. While crime rates have fluctuated, many Black residents feel unsafe in certain neighborhoods due to gang violence, gun violence, and inadequate policing. The combination of high crime and poor economic opportunities has led many families to seek safer and more stable environments. Systemic racism also plays a role in why Black people are leaving Illinois. Studies have shown that Black residents face discrimination in housing, employment, and criminal justice. Many Black families in Illinois struggle to obtain mortgages, and those who do often pay higher interest rates than white borrowers with similar financial profiles. Due to these factors, many Black Illinoisans are relocating to Georgia, Texas, Indiana, and Tennessee. These states offer lower costs of living, better job markets, and growing Black communities where people feel they have more opportunities to succeed. Next up, we're heading west to the Golden State, California. California has long been seen as a land of opportunity, but for many Black residents, the reality has become unaffordable and unsustainable. Over the past few decades, the number of Black residents in California has steadily declined as people leave for states with lower costs of living, more economic opportunities, and less racial disparity. One of the biggest reasons Black Californians are leaving is the high cost of living. The median home price in California is over $750,000, far above the national average of $417,000. Rent is also a major issue, with cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco seeing one-bedroom apartments go for $2,500 or more per month. These high prices have led to gentrification, pushing Black families out of historically Black neighborhoods like South Los Angeles and Oakland. Many people simply can't afford to stay, especially with wages not keeping up with inflation. California is also prone to natural disasters, particularly wildfires, earthquakes, and droughts. The increased frequency and severity of these disasters have made home insurance more expensive, and in some cases, nearly impossible to obtain. For Black families already struggling with the high cost of living, the added burden of climate-related risks makes leaving an appealing option. Education in California is another issue, especially in predominantly Black neighborhoods. Many schools in Los Angeles and the Bay Area are underfunded and overcrowded, leading parents to seek better opportunities for their children elsewhere. Crime is another concern, with violent crime rates in cities like Oakland and parts of Los Angeles contributing to feelings of insecurity. As a result, many Black Californians are moving to Texas, Nevada, and Arizona, where home prices are lower, job opportunities are increasing, and Black communities are growing. From the West Coast, we're hopping over to the East Coast. New York, particularly New York City, has long been a cultural and economic hub for Black Americans. However, in recent years, the Black population has been steadily declining. Black residents make up about 18% of the state's population, but many are leaving due to rising housing costs, gentrification, and economic inequality. The biggest factor pushing black residents out of New York is the high cost of living. Rent in NYC is among the highest in the country, with one-bedroom apartments averaging $3,000 to $4,000 per month in areas like Brooklyn, Harlem, and the Bronx. As wealthier residents move into historically black neighborhoods, gentrification has led to rising property taxes, making it harder for longtime residents to afford to stay. Education is another concern. New York City's public school system is one of the most segregated in the country, with Black and Latino students often attending underfunded schools with fewer resources than predominantly white schools. Many Black parents are moving to other states in search of better educational opportunities for their children. As a result, many Black New Yorkers are moving to Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, and Texas. These states offer lower living costs, better homeownership opportunities, and thriving Black communities. Cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, and Houston have seen an influx of former New Yorkers looking for a fresh start. Next up, we're heading back to the Midwest, to the state of Michigan. Michigan, particularly Detroit, has been a significant center for Black culture, history, and industry for decades. Black residents make up about 14% of the state's population, but in recent years, many have been leaving. While Detroit was once known as a booming hub for Black homeownership and auto industry jobs, economic decline, high crime rates, and failing infrastructure have led many Black families to look elsewhere for better opportunities. One of the biggest reasons Black residents are leaving Michigan is the declining job market. The state has struggled with economic downturns since the collapse of the auto industry in the late 20th century. While there have been efforts to revitalize Detroit, job opportunities remain limited, particularly for Black workers. Many former auto industry employees have found it difficult to secure well-paying jobs in other industries, leading them to relocate to states with stronger economies like Texas and Georgia. Crime also plays a significant role in why Black residents are leaving Michigan, particularly Detroit. The city has one of the highest violent crime rates in the country, and while efforts have been made to reduce crime, many residents still feel unsafe. The high crime rates, combined with economic struggles, make it difficult for families to thrive. As a result, many Black Michiganders are moving to Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio, where they can find better job markets, safer neighborhoods, and stronger school systems. Cities like Atlanta, Dallas, and Charlotte have seen a steady increase in Black transplants from Michigan in search of better opportunities. From the Midwest, we're heading down south to Louisiana, the heart of Cajun and Creole culture. Louisiana, home to cities like New Orleans and Baton Rouge, has historically had one of the largest Black populations in the U.S., making up about 32% of the state's residents. However, the state is seeing a major exodus of Black residents, largely due to economic struggles, natural disasters, and limited access to quality education and health care. The state has one of the highest poverty rates in the country, and wages remain significantly lower than the national average. The state is one of the most vulnerable in the country to hurricanes, flooding, and other natural disasters. Events like Hurricane Katrina in 2005 caused widespread devastation, and more recent storms like Hurricane Ida in 2021 have reinforced concerns about long-term sustainability. The constant threat of severe weather has led many Black residents to seek out safer, more stable environments. Additionally, the state's education system ranks among the worst in the nation, with underfunded schools and low performance ratings. Parents looking for better educational opportunities for their children are choosing to move to states with stronger school systems. Many Black residents leaving Louisiana are moving to Texas, particularly cities like Houston and Dallas, which offer better job opportunities, stronger economies, and a lower risk of natural disasters. Others are heading to Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida, where they can find growing Black communities, better schools, and more economic opportunities. We've covered a lot so far, and I want to take a second to hear from you. Are you surprised by any of these states on the list? Maybe you live in one of them. If so, Do you agree with the reasons people are leaving? Or maybe you've already moved and have a personal experience to share? Drop a comment and let's get a discussion going. Your opinions matter, and your stories add so much to this conversation. And let me know, what topics do you want me to cover next? What other migration trends should we talk about? I'm always looking for great ideas from you. Also, if you're enjoying this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this. Next up, Pennsylvania, a state of progress and controversy, played a pivotal role in the civil rights movement. Pennsylvania, particularly Philadelphia, has been home to a large black population for decades. Black residents make up about 12% of the state's population, but many are leaving due to rising crime, gentrification, and economic struggles. The biggest reason for the decline is crime. Philadelphia has one of the highest violent crime rates in the U.S., and many black residents are concerned about safety in their neighborhoods. Gun violence, particularly among young black men, has been a major issue, pushing families to seek safer communities. Housing affordability is also a concern. While Pennsylvania is not as expensive as states like New York or California, gentrification in cities like Philadelphia has pushed black families out of historically black neighborhoods. Many longtime residents find themselves unable to keep up with rising property taxes and rent increases. The economy in Pennsylvania has also struggled, particularly in industries that once provided stable jobs for black workers. Many manufacturing jobs have disappeared, and black residents have been disproportionately affected by job losses in cities like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Because of these challenges, many black Pennsylvanians are relocating to Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, and North Carolina, where they can find more economic stability, safer neighborhoods, and better schools. We're heading next to Missouri, a state that often finds itself at the center of national debates about race, equality, and justice. Missouri has a black population of about 11.5%, with a significant concentration in St. Louis and Kansas City. While Missouri has historically been a major center for black culture and business, recent trends show that black residents are leaving at a growing rate. One of the biggest reasons black residents are leaving Missouri is housing problems. Gentrification in areas like St. Louis has led to the displacement of black residents who can no longer afford rising rent prices and property taxes. Many historically black neighborhoods have been redeveloped, pushing long-term residents out of their communities. In contrast, other areas suffer from housing decline, with abandoned homes and underinvestment making it difficult for families to maintain property value. Crime and safety concerns also play a role. St. Louis has one of the highest crime rates in the country, and black residents are disproportionately affected by violent crime. While crime is a symptom of deeper economic and social issues, many black families are leaving in search of safer environments with better opportunities for their children. Systemic racism remains a pressing issue in Missouri. The 2014 killing of Michael Brown in Ferguson brought national attention to racial tensions and police brutality in the state. Many black residents feel that racial disparities in policing, healthcare, and economic opportunities continue to make Missouri a difficult place to thrive. Where are black people moving from Missouri? Many are heading to Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee, where job opportunities, black business communities, and educational resources are stronger. Cities like Dallas, Atlanta, and Nashville have become prime destinations for black professionals and families looking for better opportunities. Next, we're heading back down south to South Carolina, the Palmetto State. South Carolina has one of the highest black populations in the U.S., making up about 26% of the state's total population. However, a growing number of black residents are leaving South Carolina due to economic challenges, gentrification, and limited opportunities for upward mobility. One of the biggest reasons black residents are leaving South Carolina is the state's economic structure. While South Carolina has a relatively low cost of living, wages are also lower compared to national averages. The median household income for black families in South Carolina is significantly lower than that of white families, making it harder for black residents to build wealth. Job opportunities are often concentrated in low-wage industries such as hospitality, retail, and manufacturing, which limits economic advancement. Housing affordability is another concern. While South Carolina has traditionally been an affordable state, cities like Charleston have seen rapid gentrification, leading to rising housing costs. Many historically black neighborhoods have been transformed, with longtime residents being priced out due to increasing property taxes and home prices. Rent has also surged in urban areas, making it harder for families to remain in their communities. Where are black people moving from South Carolina? Many are heading to states with better economic opportunities, higher wages, and stronger black middle-class communities. Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas have been popular destinations, as they offer more job prospects, better schools, and growing black-owned business sectors. We're heading west to Mississippi, the Magnolia State. Mississippi has one of the highest percentages of black residents in the country, making up about 38% of the population. Despite its deep cultural and historical significance for black Americans, many are leaving due to persistent economic struggles, racial disparities, and limited educational opportunities. The biggest reason for the exodus is the economy. Mississippi has one of the highest poverty rates in the country, and black residents are disproportionately affected. Job opportunities are scarce, and wages are among the lowest in the nation. Even those with college degrees struggle to find well-paying jobs, leading many to relocate to states with stronger economies. Education is another major issue. Mississippi consistently ranks among the bottom states in education, with underfunded schools, low teacher salaries, and poor academic performance. Many black parents feel that staying in Mississippi means sacrificing their children's future, prompting them to move to states with better school systems. Systemic racism is also a major factor. Mississippi has a long history of racial discrimination, and while progress has been made, many black residents still experience disparities in employment, housing, and criminal justice. Voter suppression and racial gerrymandering have also discouraged many from staying, as they feel their voices are not being heard. Many black Mississippians are moving to Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida, where they can find better job opportunities, stronger economies, and more supportive black communities. Finally, we're heading to Ohio, a state that's often seen as a microcosm of the United States as a whole. Ohio, with cities like Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, has historically had a strong black population, making up about 12% of the state's residents. However, economic decline, crime, and racial disparities are pushing many black residents to leave. One of the main reasons for the migration is the economy. While Ohio once had a booming industrial economy, job opportunities have decreased, particularly in manufacturing. Many black workers have been left without stable employment, leading them to search for opportunities in states with stronger job markets like Texas and Georgia. Crime is another issue. Cleveland and Cincinnati have some of the highest crime rates in the Midwest, leading many families to look for safer environments. While some cities in Ohio are experiencing revitalization, many black residents feel that they are not benefiting from these improvements and are instead being pushed out. Because of these factors, many black Ohioans are moving to Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida, where they can find better job opportunities, safer neighborhoods, and stronger black communities. The reality is, black Americans are making moves, seeking better opportunities, safer communities, and a higher quality of life. But what does this mean for the future of these states? Will they work to address the issues pushing people out, or will the trend continue? So let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Have you left one of these states? Are you thinking about moving? Where do you think the best opportunities are right now? Before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.